Alrighty. So for math today, we are working on Unit 11, Lesson 17 and 18. This is our last day of actual lessons. Tomorrow's going to be review, and then we'll be taking our test next week. All right, for Unit 11. Today's topic is write an equation to solve length word problems. Same thing as yesterday. We're working with word problems again. However, today you will be able to choose whatever strategy that you want to use. I strongly recommend that you still do the number line strategy. However, if that is too challenging for you, we'll go over what other strategies you might be able to use to solve. Okay, but the biggest part is it's important that you do use a strategy. If you do not have any work shown on your paper, then I can't see if you're doing it correctly or incorrectly. Okay? All right. So today I will solve word problems involving length by writing an equation and using any strategy to solve. Okay? All right. So for vocabulary, sorry, my eye is really itchy. For vocabulary, difference in length again is when how much longer or shorter one object is than the other. So when we're finding similarities and differences in two objects, you can either say that something is longer and something is shorter. Okay, then there's the number line. So here's our number line here. Remember that it goes in sequence. It marks in sequence. Tick marks are used to put the numbers on the line. Remember that only the numbers that you need will be on the line. Okay, here are some example equations. So like yesterday, say one person ran 10 meters, and the second person ran 15 meters. You write equals and then a variable or a letter. Many times you use X, Y, or Z. Sometimes you might use other letters, but you use a letter to symbolize that's what we're solving for. Okay, so example, Chris has a 10-foot board. He cut some of the board off, so you know that you're subtracting, and has 3 feet left. So how many feet does Chris cut off? Well, he had 10. He cut some of them off, and then there is 3 left over. So all you need to do is figure out what 10 minus what number is 3. All right, our steps today. Number 1 is to read the word problem. Number 2 is to write an equation, and number 3 is to solve any strategy. Today's going to look exactly like yesterday. You're going to get a word problem. You need to set up your number line and solve. All right. Tuan hiked 86 meters on Saturday and 9 meters on Sunday. How many total meters did Tuan hike? Okay, well, I know that I have 86 meters. 86 meters. And he hiked 9 more on Sunday. So one day he did 86, the next he did 9 meters. I know that we're looking for the total meters. So that means that I am adding. Okay, so when we're adding, we set up on the left. So I'm going to write add. Adding equals left. Subtract right. Because when you are setting up your number line, you set up your addend or your minuend either on the far left or on the far right. When you're adding, your first addend goes on the left-hand side. So my first addend is going to be my bigger number, 86. 86. Okay. And then I need to add 9 to it. Okay, do I just write 9 on there and then that's it? No, I need to add 9 tick marks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, then all I need to do is count on starting at 86. 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 95. 95. 2 on, hiked, 95 total meters. Period. Remember your punctuation. Easy peasy? All right. Number 2. David's house is 17 meters tall. His garage is 4 meters shorter than his house. How tall is his garage? Okay, here's my first number, 17 meters, and here's my second, and we're comparing them. And we need to figure out, are we adding them, or do we need to figure out the total amount of meters? No, he wants to know how tall his garage is. So his house is 17 meters, and his garage is 4 meters shorter than his house. So we need to go backwards. So we remember, if you remember from yesterday and from all of our subtraction unit, you know that your minuend is always the bigger number, and we're subtracting, so we start off at the right. So our minuend goes first, so we put 17, and then we need to subtract 4. So we just need to do 4 small jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4. So all we need to do now is to count backwards. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. Oh, we forgot our equation. 17 meters minus 4 meters equals x. And x equals 13 meters. So David's house is 13 meters. Easy peasy. All right. So, like yesterday and the day before, I want you to do structured guided practice and final check. I'm going to skip forward to the next chapter, to 18. If you need to pause it to finish those activities, go ahead. If you want to continue, then just continue. But go ahead and pause and move forward if you need to. So, same exact objectives, same vocabulary, same steps. Okay, your exercise and your word problems are pretty much going to look the same, except for you're not going to have a number line set up for you. You need to set it up for yourself. Okay, number 1. At recess, Tanya skipped 42 yards and Amira skipped 13 yards. How many total yards did they skip? Great. So here's my first or my first number, and here's my second. I can look inside of my question to see what I'm going to do with those numbers. How many total yards did they skip? Well, total, I know that I need to add. Okay, so I'm going to go down here and I'm going to set up my number line. And I'm going to do my equation. 42 yards. I know total means addition. And 13 yards equals x. Okay, 42 yards is my first addend. It's the biggest one, so I'm going to put it on my number line on the left-hand side because that's what addition tells me. Here's 42 yards. Then I need to add 13 yards. Remember how we used to add using a number line instead of adding tick marks? How many 10s is in 13? 1. So I'm going to do 1 medium jump for 10. And then how many 1s do I have? 3. 1, 2, 3. All I need to do now is count. So 42 plus 10 is 52. 53, 54, 55. So x equals 55 yards. They skipped 55 yards total. Okay? If you are comfortable with adding tick marks, then add tick marks. However, this is how we did it when we did our addition unit earlier in the year. Okay? Whatever is easier for you. Okay. Number 2. My pet snake measured 26 inches long last year and 37 inches long this year. How much did my snake grow? Okay, so I had a snake and he was measuring 26 inches long. And then he measured this year 37. So did he grow, are they wondering if he's going to grow 26 plus 37 inches? Or does he not need to, do we need to figure out what the difference is? How much did the snake grow between 26 and 37? Okay, we are subtracting. Okay, so because he didn't grow 26 one year and then he grew 37 additional inches the next year. He just was he measured 26 inches and then he measured 37 inches the next year. So we need to figure out what the difference is. Okay? So remember I said you can use any strategy? All right, so I'm going to do the place value strategy. And I'm only going to do 2 columns because there's only 10s and 1s. Okay, here's my first number, 26, and here's my the next number. When we subtract, we always put the bigger number first. So 30 and 7, and 20 and 6. Then I just need to subtract. So 7 minus 6 is 1, and 30 minus 20 is 10. Therefore, 37 inches minus 26 inches, y equals 11 inches. My snake grew 11 inches. Easy peasy. All right. So again, today's activities for 17 and 18, you can use any strategy that you want. However, we need to see that you're using a strategy. You can't just put, because I know that many of you probably can subtract this in your head or add this in your head, but I need to see your work. Because on the off chance that on the test that you get something incorrect, as long as I can see that you're using an appropriate strategy, I can give you a half a point. Or I may be able to see where your mind was going at that time. But if you're just writing numbers, I'm not going to see that you were putting in the work. Okay, so remember, I need to see a number line. I need to see a place value chart, or whatever other strategy that you want to use. Even a mental strategy might work, but in that case, remember that you always need to explain in words what is happening when you're using mental math. All right, get going, guys.